For this episode of Porterverse Stats, the engine of focus will be Gordon the Big Engine. We will go over his mechanical statistics and all of his mods over the years, including some backstory, but just a smidge, to contextualize everything. Disclaimer before we continue, all the information in this video is purely headcanon, not official, it's all just AU lore, just heads up there. Without further ado, let's begin. In Porterverse continuity, Gordon is straight up an A1, an early member of the class as well. However, he was built outside the numbering scheme. Why, you ask? Well, the LNER was very much aware of the situation on Sodor with its railways. The awkward placement of the islands led to disputes with the regions. The Sodor Mainland Railway and the Timoth, Wellsworth, and Brenham Light Railway wanted to retain their autonomy on Sodor, while the LMS had other plans. The LNER saw all this happening and decided to one-up its biggest rival. This new A1 they built specifically to be sent to Sodor was Gordon. He was shipped over specifically to turn around the express services and speed up the connection of Sodor's two old railways. And the connection of the two railways would eventually lead to the birth of the Northwestern Railway. And Gordon's presence led to the express service skyrocketing performance. So much so that the NWR was able to operate on its own, independent of the Big Four railways. The LMS officially backed off in 1923. The Northwestern Railway was officially born, and Gordon was now its primary express engine. The statistics are basically exactly the same as the early A1s at this time. All the immense power, presence, and design and all. A few years go by without any mods, really just regular maintenance here and there. In 1928, one of his first updates would come along in the form of a new tender. Gordon received a brand new corridor tender from the LNER. This increased his range substantially, although no changes were made to Gordon himself. In 1931, Gordon received some mods of the works. Custom smoke deflectors were the most notable thing added. However, they only lasted a few months before flying off. It was only a trial run, as the design was just very new, and Gordon himself found them ugly. He was glad to have gotten rid of them. In 1937, after years of various mods and tweaks to his overall appearance, it was decided it would be best to send Gordon the Doncaster to be upgraded into an A3 locomotive. He returned with the majority of the mods, however some elements stayed the same due to his Sodor mods preventing some from happening. Gordon received a brand new A3 boiler and superheated smoke box. However, some things remained the same, notably his single chimney and his dome not becoming the banjo dome. Including this pipe that runs along his side still is on his right side, as opposed to the other A3s that have it on the left. Gordon was now an A3, and a unique one at that due to his Sodor mods. There was no rebuild that crew to turn him into some weird two-cylinder engine with LMS chassis. Fuck that. It doesn't make any sense. We're not doing that. It was fine before. Why are we doing? Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I personally hate Gordon's crew rebuild in the Railway Series. So it just doesn't happen in my AU. Sorry, Railway Series purists. And, that's it. Gordon has remained the same since then. He is the second A3 in preservation. Well, 3 if you count this new build guy from the 90s, but no one talks about that guy. But Gordon himself is still in active service. In 2010, he officially passed the mantle of Express Engine to Pip and Emma, the HSTs. Gordon nowadays spends his time pulling high-speed mainline locals and attending LNER events on the mainland. He may be up there somewhat in age, but Gordon the high-speed engine shows absolutely zero signs of slowing down anytime soon. And that, my friends, were the Porterverse statistics of Gordon the Big Engine. Nothing too crazy really, but I found it was kind of interesting to develop and stuff. Let me know what y'all think. Also, you have seen the photos in this video, and they do not lie. I have completely redone my Gordon model now. And just like the situation with Henry's model, Gordon's new showcase will follow next week. And I cannot wait for you all to properly see him in that. Thank you all very much for watching this episode of Porterverse Stats, and I will see you all same time next week.